Alright, what's up guys? It's Jack from Reworked Muscle. Today I'm going to be talking about how men's open bodybuilding is judged. And the reason I'm making this video is because I see a lot of people commenting whether certain people should have placed higher, should have won different shows, and certain things, and they talk about stomach distension and things that they feel should have made people place lower, and people talk about it being a subjective sport. So here's the reality. Yes, it's a subjective sport to an extent, in the same way that gymnastics is a subjective sport. There's a panel of judges who have specific criteria that they look at when they are judging a physique, just like a panel of judges judges gymnastics when someone does a vault or a balance beam routine or a floor routine. They have specific things that they critique it on. So there is some subjectivity in the sport of bodybuilding. That's a given. However, there is a very specific set of criteria that judges follow, especially at the highest levels, which is what most people are following. There is a very rigorous criteria that they go through when they are judging. So the reason I'm making this video again is that there's a lot of misinformation out there on this, and so I want to go over and let's set the record straight. So first things first, guys, they are only judged when they are hitting the poses. So that includes the 4 quarter turns, as well as the 4 mandatory poses during the prejudging elimination round specifically, as well as the 7 mandatory for the prejudging and for the top 15, and then the finals as well, the 7 mandatory. They're only judged when they're hitting the pose specifically. So they're not judged during transitions. So if they have stomach distension during the transitions, they will not be marked down, and nor should they be, because the sport of bodybuilding has had these rules for a long time, and this is how the sport is judged. Whether people like it or not, that's the sport. So it is judged while they hit the poses. So the bodybuilding competition in the IFBB consists of 4 rounds, and the first one is prejudging elimination. The next one is prejudging, round 1 of prejudging, and then finals, which is considered to be round 2, which is going to be 7 mandatories and pose down, and the finals of round 3 is going to be their free posing routines. So let me break down each one of those rounds. So the first one, prejudging and elimination, they are going to hit 4 mandatory poses. And the 4 mandatory poses, the first one they are going to hit is the front double bicep, as you see here. So when they are judging these, they are judging them. Firstly, the judges first look at the predominant muscle group, and that in this one is biceps. So the first thing they're looking at is biceps, and that is weighted more heavily in this pose. Then from there, they look at the rest of the physique, judging from head to toe. They are going to judge on everything, and they're going to do it in a downward fashion. So they are going to judge on a few things, and it's going to be based on proportion, symmetry, muscle size, muscle quality. And muscle quality means density. As defined by the IFBB, it means density, separation, and definition. And the last thing they judge on is skin tone. So if someone's tan is off, they will be marked down. If someone's spray tan is colored incorrectly, they will be marked down, especially at the highest of levels. So that's how, when they look at the poses, that's how they judge it. They first judge the main or predominant muscle group, and then from there they will judge from head to toe in a downward fashion based on, again, it's going to be proportion, symmetry, muscle size, and quality, as well as skin tone. So the next mandatory they're going to pose in the they're going to hit in the prejudging elimination round is going to be the side chest. So the side chest, they're obviously looking at the chest as the predominant muscle group, and there are a couple variations of this. This is the standard side chest. You will see guys who hit it with their hands not clasped, and actually this guy Dennis Wolf does hit it like that quite often. The next one, they're going to turn around and they're going to hit a back double for this. Again, this is prejudging elimination. So they're going to hit a back double, and the last one they're going to hit is an abs and thigh. So after this, so the judges will pick the top 15. So if there's more than 15, like at the Olympia, that's why at the Olympia placings you'll see there's multiple like people who place 16th, because the only people that move past the elimination round get to go on. So beyond that, they don't compete anymore. They are just tied for last place, in other words. So the next round they will be going into is the top 15, and that's going to be prejudging round 1. They're going to hit their four mandatory poses, and the 4 mandatories in comparison. So this is their quarter turns. And so what a quarter turn is this. So they're going to hit each quarter of their body, they're going to turn. So it'll be 4 quarter turns, obviously. 4 quarters equals a whole. And they'll be facing the front again. And then after that, they are going to hit their comparison of the 7 mandatory poses. So they'll all be lined up like this. This is lined up at a quarter turn. Then they'll all line up and do a comparison of the 7 mandatory. So the 7 mandatory poses are, again, everything's judged in the same way. Predominant muscle group first, then head to toe, based on proportion, symmetry, muscle size, muscle quality, as well as skin tone. And everything that I'm getting here is from the IFBB rule book. So this is all exactly how it is judged in today's bodybuilding world. So this first one they're hitting, again, is going to be the front double bicep. And this is Dexter Jackson, who has a gorgeous physique. Then the next one is going to be a front lat spread. This is Lee Priest, and this is not an on-stage shot, but this is a front lat spread. And this is Big Ramy hitting the front lat spread as well. And so the thing that they're judging here the hardest is going to be the lats. So the wings that these guys have, especially at this level. The third one is going to be side chest. Here's Big Ramy hitting side chest. Then you're going to be back double biceps. And so again, they're looking from head to toe, but first they judge the back and the biceps. There's 2 predominant muscles here. Then you're going to hit a back lat spread, again looking at the wings, and this guy is by the name of Justin Compton, and he is looking to make a comeback soon. He had taken a couple of years off, a couple of year hiatus. Then after the back lat spread, they're going to hit a side tricep, which is one of my personal favorite poses. I think it's an awesome pose, a really powerful pose. So they're looking at the horseshoe and the tricep, and then the rest of the physique as a whole and how it flows. So Dennis Wolf is one of my favorite side triceps ever to hit it. And then the last mandatory is going to be the abs and thighs. So from there, they will take the next group, and they will, so after that, they place the top 6. So once they place the top 6, they get to move on to the finals. So in the finals, they will hit the 7 mandatory poses again. And then from there, they will, so how it's judged in the 7 mandatory poses. The judges the same way in the top 6, and what happens is they use the same criteria and they place the top 6 from 1 to 6 each judge. So it's going to be a panel of judges, multiple judges. And so if, for example, in the Olympia, if they all placed Phil Heath first, then he would have the lowest score. So it goes to the lowest score. So each judge places their 1 through 6. And so if someone has all 1s, meaning every single judge thought that person should have been first place, that's a perfect score. That is what is considered a perfect score. So having all 1s, just like in golf, if you were to have all holes in 1s, it would mean that you have the best possible score. So you want all of the judges to place you first without question. When it gets close is when some judges feel one guy should have won and other judges feel a different guy should have won. Then it can get really, really close. But Phil Heath has been doing a phenomenal job in this whole issue where people say the bubble gut or stomach. I mean, bubble gut is stomach distension. Bubble gut is not a real thing. Stomach distension is what is happening there. But it's only going to hurt someone if it shows in the pose. And let me assure you, they do mark the guys down, but it's not the only thing on the entire physique. Again, they're first, the only where that would be a predominant is in the abs and thigh shot, and only if it's being distended at that time. And even then, so even if it's distended in, say, a side chest, it's only one small part of the physique. So it's not like it's gonna, if everything else is flawless on someone, and even if their distension shows in the pose, yeah, they'll get marked down for that, but they still may look better than every other person on stage. So this isn't a sport of who's trying to look sexy or that kind of thing. This is a sport where there's a specific criteria that these guys at the highest level are trying to achieve. So it's not about looking good or having sex appeal or any of that other BS. It's about meeting the criteria that the judges in the IFBB set forth, just like in any other judge sports like gymnastics. So guys, that is it. I hope I cleared up some questions. If you did find this useful, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It would be greatly appreciated.